Hey team, hope you guys are enjoying your week, your second official week of summer, I believe. I'll be praying for rain, but I have a few things I want to share with you heading into this weekend. The first thing I want to spend just a few minutes on is this idea of continuing to build influence and be intentional with our teams. I really see this summer as being something special. It always seems like once we hit the summer, as far as involvement in church, it's going to go down. Our numbers are going to go down. Volunteering is going to go down. People just get really busy. I'm the same way. I've already been gone. I'll be gone again. But people start to do things, and so our numbers go down. But we can either look at it and say, okay, our teams are lower, so how can I build my team numerically, quantitatively, or how can I build it qualitatively? How can I actually, the people who are still here this summer, how can I be really intentional about investing in their life? Am I willing to do things like invite them out to coffee, invite them to lunch? Am I willing to do something like have my team over to my house? I've been reading this book that's truthfully way over my head. It's called The Power of the Other, and it's written by Henry Cloud, who is a brilliant psychologist, psychiatrist, doctor who spent years, studying the brain and great Christian man. And one of the things he talked about in psychology is they had all of these classes and they've been doing all of this study and research, and he had been waiting to find this one, thing that helped people elicit change more than anything else. What this one phrase, this one practice, this one thing them as doctors and psychologists can do to help people change and motivate that change and elicit that change. And after all of this studying, after all this research and tests and everything, the conclusion was the one thing that elicits the most change, the one thing that's bound to work, is relationship. Which truthfully discouraged him, because as a psychologist he was really hoping for this, this thing that he could, do or give them or practice or understanding or phrase or something like that. Not relationship, but the truth was that a relationship with somebody will help them elicit the most change where it's needed in their life. One of the things he talks about in the book that I find is just incredible is the story of a Navy SEAL who was at the final, phase of all of his testing. They go through this just insanely rigorous test where people drop like crazy, and he's swimming this final, amount that he has to go, and he just has literally nothing left. His body is failing him, and then he can hear somebody just yards away, because the finish line is just yards away, but he cannot do it. He's starting to sink. And then he hears somebody yards away starting to encourage him and cheer him on. And something kicked in his body, and it was like he got another gear, he got another wave of energy, and he was able to finish. All because this person was cheering them on. It's the same when you talk about sports teams. There's something special when they go home and they play because they have people cheering them on. This is the power of the other. The other, through encouraging, through cheering you on, through being there, through that relationship, can take you to a place that you never thought possible. See, the mind and the body have these limitations, but then the other can help you get to that next step. That's what his whole book is about, is finding, your other to help you go from that very highest that your body can go, that your mind can go, to pushing you over that, and then also being the other. So the question I want to ask you guys is, are you being the other for your team? Are you being there, helping have that relationship that you can make positive change and influence in their life? As leaders yesterday, we were talking about how we can help people in groups grow spiritually more mature. And one of the big things we want to see is through biblical knowledge, just helping people understand the Bible a little bit better. But we're never going to be able to do that if we're not there to have that relationship, to start eliciting that change, to start, giving them that encouragement to say, hey, let's dig into this a little bit more. Let's really start understanding some of the Bible on a better, level than what we have been. we need to be there to be the other. There is power in being the other for people, not just in our family, but in our community, on our teams, everywhere. We can be the other. So this summer, let's be the other. Let's build that relationship. Let's put ourselves in a position where we're going to have influence in people's lives to help them elicit change. And you know what? Along that way, they're going to be able to help you do the same thing. That's the great thing about when you're being the other, is you form a team and a bond that you can take each other to steps you never thought possible. So there's people on your team, I know I've already experienced it, talking and getting to know you guys, that they can take you to levels you didn't think you'd be able to get to because they are the other. So hopefully that makes sense. But are we being the other for our team? Are we being there for them? I hope we are, and if not, it's okay. That's what we're going to do this summer in building that influence. But a couple other things, as we head into this weekend, just informational. One Love Week is happening this week. It starts Sunday afternoon, Monday through Friday. I hope you guys are a part of it. I hope if you are and you know when you're serving, you're telling your team, hey, I'm serving this time. You guys should serve with me. Please let them know. It's a great way to get to know one another a little bit more, but then just go serve again together. Just go serve our community. Then we also have a worship night coming up this Wednesday. One of the coolest things we get to do is just come together as a family and worship God. And that's going to be at the West location this Wednesday. Hope you guys can be there. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and we always enjoy worship nights. Now, a couple other things then. This July I'm going to be gone 2 weekends. The first weekend, which is the 2nd of July, I'm actually teaching over at West for the weekend, and so I will not be here. Todd will still be here, but I will not be. Then July 7th or 16th, I'm going to be gone at my best friend's wedding, and Todd is also going to be gone, and so we'll just have to figure out, who is covering where, and just making sure you guys are always really great about leading to where really we don't need to be there for the most part. But just to let you guys know, I'm going to be gone those 2 weekends. That way also, if you know the weekends you're going to be gone, I've already talked to a few of you, but let me know, and then I'll make sure I'm going to have my handy dandy notebook, like Steve says in Blue's Clues. I will have that this weekend, and I just want to write down, make sure I know when everyone's going to be gone. That way I can help cover for you guys also, so you don't have to worry about it. But that is all I have for you guys. I'm very excited to get to serve with you again this weekend. I hope you're having a great week. I love you guys. We'll talk to you soon.